Another episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbooking app. Not only is it safe, but it is secure and reliable. And Deke, there is a promo code. Could you tell them what the promo code is, please?
You sure you want me to?
I mean, because they hear it from me all the time. I just feel like it's better when it comes from you.
Okay. It's pretty simple. It's easy to remember. It's MOATS. MOATS.
Boom. Can't go wrong with that. So for all the first-time users out there, if you use the promo code MOATS, you'll receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So stop wasting time, download the app, use the promo code, and get an opportunity to make a little money. Well, man, but what were your initial thoughts on that in terms of, the reports coming out of him more than likely not being back with the Steelers next year?
Well, we talked a little bit about it, and I think it's good for both sides. I think for Connor, maybe in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, that would be so cool to finish out my career here in Pittsburgh, be like this epitome of a hometown hero. But maybe a fresh start could be good for him. He's been in Pittsburgh for how long? This is 8 or 9 years. Wow. And it's not even just like your professional career. I think that's maybe a little bit different, but going from college, and he grew up in Erie too. So he's been around here this whole time. Mm-hmm. And I think coming after Bell, there was a little bit more pressure on him, even though he did live up to it, I think, that first year. But injuries derailed him, and then bad quarterback play in 2019, more injuries, and then some inconsistency this year, more injuries. Just didn't fully live up to that top 10 potential that we thought he could be. So maybe he could replicate that somewhere else. Our line definitely wasn't up to par this last season. And then for us, I don't think we were going to bring him back for the amount he might be asking for in free agency. We can get very similar production with someone in the draft. I don't know if free agency's in play for us for a running back at all, but if we can upgrade the line, I think we can get pretty good production from an RB.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I think in terms of free agency being in play, it's more so going to be dictated on what number Ben settles at. Whatever that number is going to dictate how much money they have to play around with in free agency. So that's going to determine that. But in terms of the change of scenery, I agree 100%. I think a similar situation when we talked about Dwayne Haskins. It's hard, man, when you're from an area to come back and play in that area. We talked about how Dwayne Haskins being from the DMV area, going to play for Washington. Obviously, James being from Erie, playing college ball at Pitt. And now you're playing for the Steelers. There's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of just emotional, it's draining at times being the hero, being the hometown kid, having these expectations, then being highly criticized in the process of it. And then the things that people spoke so highly of you about in terms of what makes you so unique and so special in terms of his battle with cancer. Then they turn around and use that against him and talk about, well, now he's fragile because of things like that. Sometimes, man, just being able to just pick up and go, just getting into a place where you're no longer James Conner, the kid from Erie, the Pitt running back. You're just, now that's just James Conner, number 30 for whatever team. It's a different level of just everything, expectation, scrutiny, everything that goes with that. So I think, man, him going somewhere different. And honestly, I think, man, a small market just out in the middle of nowhere type place, man, would be just a great scenario for him. Honestly, I don't think he needs to go somewhere where it's another highly criticized team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Dallas is a place like that, right? You want him to go there. I want him to go somewhere where it's quiet, Carolina, something like that, right? Where even though you obviously have McCaffrey, you be the power back, right? You be the 1-2 punch and just kind of get your feet back under you, get some quality seasons back under you, get some highly productive but 14, 15, 16 game seasons under you. I think that's a scenario that'd be best for him right now, man. Because it's, like I said, it's taxing. That's a lot to deal with, especially when you've been here your whole life.
So I think him trying to play through injuries too might have played into him staying injured, and maybe the reason he did that was being from Pittsburgh. Like, I want to show out, for my city and everything. Mm-hmm. So it goes back to the whole fresh start. But he want to show his toughness, right? Mm-hmm. All of that stuff, man. Yeah. So we definitely hope him the best. I mean, I guess the reports aren't official, but it came from someone from the Post-Gazette, right? They were saying it just looks like Rooney's gonna move on from him at running back.
And the reason why all of these reports started coming out was Mr. Rooney, every season, once the season's over, he'll sit down with a very select handful of the beat writers here in Pittsburgh, and he'll do a full, season report, end of the year type of scenario where he'll answer questions and stuff like that. And obviously James Conner was brought up in there because of the contract. So everything that has been leaked out now has been in response to the conversation that was had that day. So that's that, man. But yeah, I just think, man, like I said, I hope he's successful wherever he goes, man. But this is, it sucks always because, this is a kid that you have seen develop as an NFL player. And obviously the people that have connections here with him in Pittsburgh, you want to see him do well. And you wish it could be here, but yeah, I just don't see it.
Yeah, it'd be such a cool story.
Yeah.
It definitely would be. And I think if these last 2 years would have played out differently, it could have finished out being a different story. But
without a doubt,
is what it is.